All right, guys, we are live. Look at all the people, all the beautiful people. Isn't that a song?
This is something like that.
Oop. I guess
Yeah,
I gotta mute
and
this one.
real quick, just to remind everybody, we are our goal tonight is to hit 31, so we can one up last week's show.
And by the looks of things, I think that we are doing. We're off to a pretty good start. We are up to 8 people in the chat, including ourselves. Guys, if you haven't done so already, go over and click that thumbs up so that we know that you're here. And yes, Marilyn Manson. I knew that. See, I pay attention to my wife once in a while. All right, guys, we're going to jump right into this. I think we've got quite a few people in the chat that are ready to roll. So, welcome to the Car Guy and SixFan show. I'm glad you made it over to Old Car Auto Guy. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button. And don't forget, if you're not subscribed to Old Car Auto Guy, please do so now. As well as Straight SixFan is here with us. He's in the house. Go over and hit his page up and subscribe to him. Also, we are in the battle of two countries. We are bald eagles and beavers battling it out to see who gets to 1,000 subscribers first. I'm going to introduce you guys to my co-host, Grant Tommy, or as you guys know him, Straight SixFan. Grant?
Yeah, well, welcome everybody, and thank you, Jason, for the kind words. Because this week we were definitely throwing punches at each other, taking jabs for sure. But yeah, my channel is Straight SixFan, where I like to focus on budget-minded, relatable, creative builds. A little something I like to call offbeat hot rodding. And thank you guys for being part of this journey with us on the road to 1,000. And we of course want to help you guys grow as well.
Yeah, so we're just going to take a couple minutes or a minute to just browse through the chat to see who all is here with us this week. And I see that Kip from America Bumper to Bumper is here, Terry Eford from Eford Garage, Yoshi from Hodgepodge Garage. Thanks, Yoshi, for making it to one of our live streams. And guys, if you haven't found Yoshi yet, go over to his channel and hit him up. He is on the same battle as we are to that elusive 1,000 subscriber mark. I think he's at 920. Also in the house, we've got, I think I saw Rust Belt Mechanic is here. And I think I saw Novotaz jump in there for a bit as well. Thanks for coming in, guys. Impact Gaming is here. And
SNR Motoring just jumped in.
SNR Motoring just jumped in there, guys. And also Valdemir, he is one of Nick's employees who actually works with him there on Saturdays. Val, thanks for coming in and joining the live stream here. And let's get right into business. So first thing that we'd like to jump into on this live stream is we want to talk a little bit about automotive news. So Grant, you had a great idea that you wanted to share with everybody this week to get the chat going. So why don't you go ahead and start things off?
Well, I'm going to invert the topics a little bit just because I have 7 choices for each category, so I can come up with an alternative very easy. So I don't want to take one of Jason's just in case. But so we thought that the LS Swap the World chat was such a good one last week that we thought let's kind of take a spin-off of that topic. And so we're talking motor swaps, and so we set up some ground rules, and so I wore, of course, my Diesel Brothers shirt to launch the first topic. We're going to do two of them. So if you could swap a motor, any diesel motor, into a vehicle, but it can't be a 5.9 liter Cummins, what would you go with? And for me, man, it was really tough, actually, because I come up with ideas all the time for different motor swaps. But I think what I'm most curious, I think the hottest thing for me right now is actually that 2.8 liter crate motor that Cummins has out. I just think that would be a really cool, like I got started, the first vehicle I ever learned to drive stick shift in was the 1984 Ford Ranger Perkins diesel. And so I'd love to like recreate that truck for my dad and throw like a 2.8 liter Cummins in it. So that's part of the trick too. You can swap a diesel into anything. What is the motor? As long as it's not a 5.9 Cummins, and what is it going into? Jason?
Well, I've always been a fan of the really loud, obnoxious, and painfully powerless Chevy, or I should say Detroit V8s of the early 80s, 70s and 80s. So if I think I would stick with a V8, and I would go with the old 6.2 or 6.5 Detroit that was in the Chevy pickups. And although those originally came in like a lot of the square bodies from the military grade trucks and stuff like that, I think I would stick one of those in an old Impala or an old Buick or an Oldsmobile or something like that, and just be calling everybody out behind you, and just kind of be a little bit of a loud sleeper, I guess you could say. So I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but I really do like those old Detroit diesels.
Well, actually, do you follow Chevaholic on YouTube and Instagram?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
He's a great follow. So he's like old school hot rodders, most of his stuff, but he has a like 65 four-door, I think, like F85 Oldsmobile, and he has a 6.5 or 6.2 Detroit in that. So
I'm just going through the chat here, and I'm seeing some really weird stuff. So Kip says he'd like to put a TDI into a Jeep, and I'm assuming he's meaning like a Wrangler. Hodgepodge says Duramax. Rust Belt says Duramax for the win. Coincidentally, I think don't you work for a Chrysler dealership? But anyways, so yeah, there's some pretty neat stuff going on there, and I think that's a pretty interesting topic to say. What you would swap a diesel engine out. Somebody else is saying, I missed it. Oh, TDI into a small Samurai, like a Suzuki Samurai, and that's from Get It Garage. So I think that's pretty neat.
And before we go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, before we switch it over to the gas conversation, just want to take note of Apollo's Iron Fist has dropped in the meantime. I don't know if we caught Novitaz there in the first shoutouts, and Uzu Garage, MHF Tractor, One Man Shop, Not Your Dad's Garage, Toolbox Footage. We're up to 21 now in the chat. I'm starting to feel like old Farm Mall Fanatic. Boost Rodeo Garage as well has jumped in the meantime. So with
boom, he hit me with a deuce. No, sorry.
You had to. If you've ever watched one of those, it's a ride, that's for sure.
It's amazing.
But so we'll switch over to a gas motor now. So I'll let you start, Jason. So if you could swap any gas motor into any vehicle, but the catch is it can't be a V8, what are you swapping into what?
Well, again, I'm not going to stray too far from the V8 because I've had several of these 4.3 liter Chev V6s, and they are A, they're bulletproof, and B, they're so darn close to a Chev 350, just less two cylinders, that you can pump some power out of these suckers. So I've always wanted to have something like a 30s street rod with a 4.3 liter V6. Give you a little bit of extra room, maybe for a turbo or for a blower or supercharger, whatever you want to put on it. So my call is the Vortec 4.3 liter V6.
Well, I didn't have that. That didn't make any of my top 7. And this one was really tough for me. But I think if I could only do one, I was kind of between two. If one was realistic, it'd be Ford's 3.5 liter EcoBoost twin turbo motor. And I think I'd put that in a Ford Maverick. Or if parts availability was not an issue, I think I'd love to swap in one of those Australian 4-liter inline-6 Fords, the dual overhead cam turbo motors. I didn't really figure out what I'd throw that into, but I guess if I'm being realistic, I'm going with the 3.5 liter EcoBoost. Good
call, because those are really great motors. And look, I've got to point this out. Somebody just said, where is it here? No, I missed it. Anyways, I thought I read somewhere in there that somebody was talking about a diesel. Oh yeah, Kip, the RB25 in a 240SX. So I believe the RB25 is that small Cummins you were talking about. Am I not? Am I wrong there? Maybe, or
that code doesn't ring a bell to me, but that could be.
No. And I did see something on YouTube. I just caught a channel that there's a guy out there taking, I think it's a C6 maybe Corvette, and he's putting a rotary engine in it. Anyone else see that?
There is one out there of a like 70. It's or like that Hugger Orange, a 70 or 72 Nova with a rotary motor in it.
Yeah, well, to each their own, and I guess that's why people will look at us for our decisions on what we chose and probably shake their head too.
Well, there's some really good ideas in the chat too. I mean, Mr. Mach 1 says a 3.5 Ford EcoBoost and a Pinto. I would have gone the 3.7 V6 out of that was probably my runner up. One Man Shop, of course, is really pushing the 4.9 liter Ford really hard because that's of course it. So MHF Tractor, yeah, we know the 2.8 liter is the new Cummins. We just weren't sure if the RB25 code was referencing the same thing or not.
Yeah, I can't remember what the Cummins code is for that engine. So, anyways, it's obviously if you scroll back through the chat, it's drummed up a lot of discussion on what we would do with our harebrained schemes of swapping engines. So let's move on down through the list of some of the topics that we talk about here on this channel. And the next item on the list is our channel updates, meaning some of the things that are going on through our channel and some of the things that that might be up and coming. So Grant, why don't you head that one off?
Yeah, and mine's going to be just real quick so we can save some time. But I just wanted to kind of promote and let you guys know, like, the best way to figure out what I'm doing in between episodes, just follow me on Instagram and Twitter. A lot of people don't know that those exist, but I'm at straight SixFan. Same way my channel's worded on both of those sites.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram as well, and everything that I have is under Old Car Auto Guy. So it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's Twitter, and obviously right here on YouTube. So we can follow each other and follow everybody else, and they can follow us through different avenues of social media as well. Let's give another little shout out here on the chat. I see Craft Beer Pours. Brandon is in the house. If you guys are into craft beers and want to find out what's out there and get some good reviews on some beer, go hit up Craft Beer Pours. He does some awesome live streams. Sometimes they get rowdy. I will warn you, I've been there. I've witnessed it with my own eyes. But anyways, it's a good channel to pop in and catch that stuff. Also, BNO Outdoors. Welcome to my live stream, guys. If you guys don't know BNO Outdoors, he does some great live streams as well that will help you get connected with other YouTubers. So I encourage you to go over and hit that up. Thrash Metal Homebrew just jumped in there. Another guy who is into the beer reviews and stuff like that. Him and Brandon are together on Craft Beer Pours. And ASAP Fishing One. Hello, welcome to the channel, guys, and thanks for joining in. So we're talking right now about our channel updates, and you guys have seen my last video, not today's video, but the one that went up Tuesday, where I made a whirlwind tour trip from St. Stephen, New Brunswick to Laval, Quebec, which is just on the other side of Montreal, and back in one weekend. That's just over 1,000 miles. And the purpose for that was to pick up a new set of J heads from Nick's Garage. So I was able to go into Nick's Garage, very welcoming, and the whole crew. I met everybody that was working there that day, and Val is in the chat, or at least he was. Val works there. And VW Pate is in the house, guys. Welcome. Also, so when I got there, I was offered a coffee. I was offered whatever. Everybody was just so welcoming, and I had a lot of fun. So there's going to be another video come up on Tuesday next week after Nick's Garage launches their video on Monday, because they did a dyno pull on an engine. And I was asked not to post my footage until after their results of that dyno pull. So it's going to be a great video. If you're not subscribed to Nick's Garage, go do that. He's a bigger channel. And I'm kind of hoping that I will be a part of that video when his release is on Monday and help boost my channel as well. So what's going on over there in the chat? We see a bunch of people. We've got Mrs. Naturally Nollins. We got 22 people now in the chat, guys. If you haven't done so already, hit the thumbs button, thumbs up, give us a like,
or even better, hit the share button and let your friends know to come join in. We've got still 15 minutes left in the show. Again, we hit 30 last week, so let's find 8 more people. We're at 23.
Yep, we're trying to get up there, trying to break that record each week, that we have more people coming into the chat, and this is a great place to connect. So I've already said it, but guys, if you're in the chat right now and you're a YouTuber and you're looking to help grow your channel, source these people out, help support them, go over to their channel, watch their videos, comment on what they're doing, and make sure you stay connected. We don't want, as they say in these support streams, we don't want dead subscribers. We want you to be a part of everybody that's watching. So thank you all so far who are here for joining in tonight. We're going to move on to channel struggles and growth hacks. We talked every week. We kind of reach out to you guys and tell you a little bit of some of the things that are working for us and some of the things that aren't working for us, or some of the struggles that we've had in the past. And this is the point in this show where we kind of help you guys with some of the things that we have. Maybe at some point you'll come across that, or what we say as far as a growth hack may help you or encourage you to move on. Grant, why don't you start?
Well, so one of the things that I've been pretty outspoken about in the last couple of weeks is something that I feel like I struggle with quite a bit. Is I want to provide more entertainment than just turning the camera on and you guys looking at me like this, just talking to the camera. I want to, but I really struggle with what I actually want my channel to be. And I think I've spent a lot of time thinking about it. I want it to be sort of like those car shows you'd watch Sunday morning on the Spike TV or whatever, the Power Block, that kind of, like, I want them to be informational and somewhat how-to, but not a full-blown dedicated how-to. But I also want you to, you know, kind of get to know me some. And so what I've tried to always challenge myself, and I need to just commit to and do it, is just every episode commit to what I call 30 seconds of cinema. And I think if I keep that practice up, if I keep just like, okay, I need at least one little spot where I make a good, solid, entertaining, like it's a cinematic, I'm telling the story with the camera, because that's what the tool's for, to tell a story without me just talking and it being on my face. So that's just one of the things that I feel like from an attention span scenario, from a watch time scenario, that's something that I want to work on to try to get better at.
Yeah, it always tends to be a struggle when, especially sometimes, like when I'm trying to force a video, I feel like sometimes all I end up doing is talking throughout the whole thing. There are some videos where all I will do is talk, but there's a purpose behind it. So I get where you're coming from with that. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys as well is add-ons to your channel. If you're not using TubeBuddy, that's just one of the add-ons for YouTube that I use that help me with tagging my videos, as well as creating thumbnails and descriptions and all that sort of thing. So my tip for you guys is, if you're not using TubeBuddy, use it. There is a free version out there, but there's also a paid version that you can get that helps you with things like tagging your video. And if you don't know what tagging a video is, it's keywords that when people are searching for things may lead them to your video. So for instance, we're doing a live stream tonight. So, you know, a live stream would be a key tag word that you would use as part of that. Also a hangout, you know, things like that will help people get to you if you use those keywords. And so I recommend TubeBuddy. I'm using the paid version. It helps me with a lot of things. I see Get It Garage says he 100% recommends TubeBuddy as well. So guys, if you're not using it, I encourage you, go out there, at the very least, try the free version, see if it's for you, and hopefully that is something that will help you grow your channel. I see a couple of new names that have jumped into the chat. Stu Williams. Stu, I just subscribed to him the other day, so thanks for jumping in, as well as you couldn't see me, and he's a recycler. He goes out and he's picking up garbage and trash and selling it for money. And welcome to the channel. And I'm not sure if I missed anybody else in there as they jumped in. CarrGuy Garage has jumped in there. Thank you for joining the stream. And I think I got Mrs. Naturally Nollins and Mr. Mach 1. Yeah, we've got, Boost Rodeo Garage is here. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Go check each other out, help each other grow. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the live stream. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up and share this video and get the word out that we're doing this live stream. We've got 22 people in the chat there right now.
Yeah, and Eford Garage brought up a good point. What he found as a good growth tool for him was Facebook groups, but it wasn't just finding Facebook group; it was finding the right one. And actually, I'm think before too long, I'm going to create one, and I think I've got a special spin on the one I want to create, but I need to still work some things out before I launch that one. But since we're talking about Eford Garage, there's some big news in his channel that just came up, and Eford did hit that elusive 1K threshold. So congratulations, Eford Garage.
Yeah, Terry, that's great news. It's good to get you up there. I've been keeping an eye on Terry's channel for quite a while now, and he's been growing just with the rest of us. And it's always good to have one of our followers jump in there and hit that big milestone. And you know, we're going to be there soon. Some of us quicker than others, but anyways, we're getting there, and we're excited for you, Terry. Thanks for being a part of our community as well.
Yeah, well, speaking of some of us getting there sooner than others, let's talk about the sub count there, Jason. Since you're on like a 4-to-1 rate to me, last week when we did this show, I was at 896 subscribers, and I'm up 25 now to 921. I figure if I'm not at 950 at this time next week, Jason will be past me this time next week.
Well, there's a couple of things that we got to consider in there. Is one that the Nick's Garage episode is coming out on Monday, and I was a part of their videoing and their recording of that particular episode, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that and getting that exposure on that channel. So I really think that that's going to help boost my subscriber numbers. But nevertheless, right now as we sit, I'm at 849 subscribers. So I am catching up to you, and in hopes that we both can reach that 1,000 subscriber goal at the same time or within the same week of each other. We're going to have a big celebration on that particular episode, and maybe go a little bit longer. We might even spread it out to 45 minutes or maybe even an hour, depending on how things go, and hopefully get a lot more topic of discussion and have a little more fun on the channel to help celebrate those big milestones.
Yeah, and Hodgepodge just offered up his Facebook page as a good place to share some content, and it's been a really helpful tool for myself as well.
Yeah, so if you guys aren't a part of Hodgepodge Garage on Facebook, I encourage you to go over there. That's a great community, and Yoshi is more than accommodating to have us advertise this stream on that channel. And we want to make sure that we can get everybody out there and connected with other like-minded YouTubers. So one of the tips that I had a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was last week, I can't remember, but is get yourself out there, get connected in the community, Facebook, YouTube channels, YouTube live streams just like this one, and you'll gain lots of support, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think maybe that was 2 weeks ago when you were on with Kip, I think, actually, when you threw that one out there.
Yeah, so we are at about 7 minutes left in this live stream. So we're going to open up the chat, let you guys ask us any questions. If you have something on here, maybe we've missed something, but we're going to scroll back through the chat, see if anybody has anything that they want us to talk about while we're here.
And in the meantime, we'll throw out our weekly channel shout-outs of channels Jason and I have come to appreciate over our time, over our careers, whether it be a little over 4 years like myself or just a little over 1 year like Jason's. And so this week, the channel I'd like to highlight and like to shout out is Double R Restorations, who's basically, I don't think you can find a better authority on second-generation Camaros on YouTube than Double R Restorations. He's got 2 builds going right now. One's shoot, I should know the years off the top of my head, but I think one's a 1980 Project Fast Times, and then Project Overkill, which is named appropriately because this guy's restoring down to the nut and bolt of the door hinge, is I think a 72, I believe. Jason, your channel?
Well, this is one that I just happened to stumble on. As you guys know from watching, if you've been watching my channel very long, you'll know that I'm a huge square body Chev truck guy. And I just happened to stumble upon this new channel that came out called Whitlock Garage. Now, literally 95 days ago, these guys turned on their YouTube channel and started filming all about C10 trucks and square bodies. And as of right now, they are over 1,200 subscribers, which they just hit 1,000. When I woke up yesterday morning, they were at 1,000. So they are growing at an alarming rate. If you're into square body trucks and C10s, head over to Whitlock Garage and check out their channel and be a part of that huge growth spurt that they're having right now. So before we go too much further, Grant, I just see somebody has asked a question to you, and it was Hodgepodge Garage, and he says, for your budget build, you may have said it once in one of your videos, but how close are you to the budget so far?
So rule of thumb there, basically, if I'm installing an actual part in an episode, I tend to give a budget update. And so I can't remember if it was, I think it was the last upload, Sunday's upload, I think had a budget update in it because I did have to buy something. But I have to pull up the spreadsheet here to give you what that number was. I'm down to $1,627.64 remaining in the $4,000 budget.
And there you go. So I see. I also want to make note that Novotaz has mentioned that his live stream on Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern to help promote channels as well. I take part in that once in a while when the sleepiness is not there. I'll jump in there, but it's a little bit. It's at 10 o'clock my time, which is generally bedtime. But so they've got some great talk over there, as well as Rust Belt Mechanic has a Sunday evening live stream on his channel, and that's a great place to interact with other like-minded gearheads. And yes, Mach 1 Hodgepodge does have a Facebook, and you are now cordially invited to join him.
Well, let's see. Leonard Shea has dropped in the chat as well. I'm not familiar with his channel, so I'm writing that down now to go check it out after the show, see if it's something I'm interested in. And that's the other awesome part about this format, guys, is like I've picked up subscribers and found new channels because of this just as much as you guys are finding new channels. So we're growing together for sure.
Yep, we are, and that's what it's all about. It's about connecting. It's about creating a community. And just because we have 21 people watching this right now, doesn't mean this is our only community. It means we're trying to grow this community to become a bigger part of a larger community, and that's the automotive YouTube community. And everybody that's in here now is in here simply because they like cars, or they have an interest in cars or trucks or motors or small engines or whatever the case may be. And everything's in here. Hey, Steve, home guy 4x4 has made it in. Thanks for jumping in here and joining the crowd. So I'm just kind of rolling through here to see if there was any more questions that we may have missed, and I'm not seeing anything. So I am going to bring this live stream off to a little bit of a close. We've got a couple of minutes to go here, so I'm going to keep an eye on the chat, make sure nothing pops up there. But for those of you who are just joining in or who joined in a little bit late, my name is Jason. My channel is Old Car Auto Guy, which is where you're watching this. And my channel focuses on my used car dealership and some of the projects and shenanigans that we get into as part of that, some of our project vehicles. And that's what I like to highlight on my channel. So the other co-host of this channel is Straight SixFan, Grant Tommy. And Grant is going to get ready to close us out. And we will see you guys next week.
Yeah, so thanks once again, everybody, for joining in the CarrGuy and SixFan show. It's been, it's definitely, Jason and I are week after week are just more and more like just surprised what we've been able to foster and grow here, and you guys are definitely a huge part of that. So thank you for making this, what it's become. And obviously, if you really do enjoy it, please do in the time between now and the next episode, which if you didn't already know, it does alternate from my channel to Jason's and then back to mine. So next week's episode will be on my channel. Share it in your Facebook groups, share it on social media, get the word out, and let people know this is a great place for the Car Guy community, because that's what we're building. So we did only have one other question I think I saw really quick, and I think it was Rust Belt Mechanic wanted to know if there are any big projects we were looking for in the spring. I know we're getting close to our 30-minute limit, but really everything I want to accomplish this spring is all Project Low Fairmont. Jason, did you have anything before we shut her down for real?
Yeah, I'll just kind of throw in there. Of course, you guys all know that I'm going to be building these new heads for my Cordoba and getting that ready. So there will be likely a dyno test on that engine with all the new engine mods, as well as Project Bubbles. As you guys all know, watching my 2009 Kia Sportage, the provincial safety inspection runs out at the end of this month, and we're going to do something to Bubbles that will make Bubbles no more. So that will be a good part of a huge, maybe even a couple series of videos that we're going to be coming to the demise of my Project Bubbles. So stay tuned for that.
That is fantastic. I can't wait for that. But guys, once again, come back next week. My channel, 7 o'clock Central Time. But until next time, peace out.